I'm thrilled to be here today with Rashi Narang at Heads Up for Tails HQ here in Gurgaon, Delhi in India, for today's episode of Connecting with Consumers. Rashi founded the pet retail business in 2008 and has been partnered with Verlinvest since 2021, and it's been an amazing upward trajectory since then, which we would love to talk a bit more about today.
Going back to the founding story, we started Heads Up for Tails in 2008, and it was inspired by my little tiny puppy named Sara. And once I became a pet parent to her, I realized I just could not find products and services that were worthy enough for this newest, sweetest furry family member. And that's how I set out to create them. I started out really tiny in my home as a one-person army to build for Sara, and then I soon realized that this actually was quite a big white space. There really wasn't anything available, and I was very sure that other pet parents would want more for their pets, and that's how Heads Up for Tails came around. Sure. Well, that list of challenges is awfully long, but I'd say I think some of the big ones have been that really when I started out, there was no path that was defined. There was no one to learn from, and the industry really didn't exist. So building it one day at a time as just a very small team, but with a big ambition, I think that all of it has been very hard, right? Whether it was finding vendors who could work with us and build pet products, whether it was convincing people to let us hire their stores. As landlords, they were like, really, pet companies? No, not really. They just didn't have the confidence. Whether it was finding team members, because again, we had to build the entire expertise in-house. There was no one whom we could hire from, nowhere we could hire from, and no one really who came with an understanding of the space. And I think most of all, even the consumer had to be built up in the sense that people weren't really that aware of the products that they needed or the fact that they needed any of it at all, right? At that time, it was primarily an era of pet ownership, and I have seen that slowly evolve over the last 16 years into pet parenting, which has been such an incredible journey to witness. I moved overseas when my husband moved jobs. And so trying to handle this remotely, I did that for 7 long years, but also with no fixed timeline on when we'd move back. And then finally one day I was like, okay, that's it, I'm going, right? But more than anything else, I think it's about being able to balance family with work. I became a mom, during the time that I was away, and trying to juggle that which is 100% full-time job with this little baby of mine, which is also 100% full-time job. I think that's really a difficult time in a woman's life. How do you manage home and work and give both your 100%? So I think there definitely have been so many challenges, and there continue to be so. But I think if we're able to overcome each one of them and come out on the other side, you just become wiser, stronger, braver, and you keep going. I think that if the evolution is happening very quickly now. It definitely took a long time to catch up, but as more and more people experience the joys and magic of sharing home and heart and life with pets, it's not comparable to any other feeling in the whole wide world. And so I think that pets are really becoming part of family. People are just becoming more conscientious about how are they caring for them, what do they need to live their best lives. And also like taking from just general trends, like for example, if somebody is focused on health and wellness, they are thinking about that for their pets as well, reading labels, becoming conscious of what is in their pet's food, how much exercise or, what is making their pets happy and how do they really help them live their best lives. And I think that is absolutely wonderful because our pets deserve all that and so much more. We took a long time to reach a point when we felt confident about wanting to raise money. We wanted to lay the foundation, really understand our consumers, build out the products, get that product market fit. Me living away, the industry being at a very nascent point. It took us, so many years before we reached that point when we felt like, okay, now we're ready to partner and really give it our all. It is a big commitment, and I think that you have to be ready for it. And I think that with who we are as a company, we are very passion-driven, very purpose-driven, very value-driven. We really wanted somebody who resonates with that value system and can come on board as partners and can come on board for the long term, because I think it takes a very long time to build something great, and at HUFT, we really want to build the best. So that patience and that long-term faith was important to us. And then we met Verlinvest. So yes, it's been such a lovely journey. Our India team with Arjun and Manvita have been super supportive, very hands-on, and they really have been wonderful partners that we deeply appreciate. And then I just hope that the way forward is even better and we build some great stuff together. We definitely do all of the obvious, which is our consumer feedback sessions and surveys and bringing small groups to the office to really deep dive and understand their experience with HUFT. But where I have always gotten the best insights is having more informal, casual conversations with pet parents. Nothing to do with products, HUFT services, but everything to do with their pet parenting journeys. Their pain points, the big magical moments, the difficult times. And really then taking that back to the drawing board to say, okay, how do we solve for this through products, through services, through content, through advice, through experiences? Those have always been the best insights that we could probably never get by saying, what more do you want? Not everybody has answers to that. But when you talk to people and, for example, someone may say, I have a senior dog, he's struggling with XYZ. Here's what I'm struggling with as a pet parent, caring for him. Those are the things that you take back and then you build for it. And that's how you build products that haven't been built before. That's how you take something that may be existing and really go deep into how do you make this so much better. And how do you solve for both ends of that relationship? We are an extremely ambitious team, and we have been building this for the world. Whenever I go for trade fairs across the world or I visit pet stores in other countries, I know that we have built a product portfolio that is very much suitable for the whole world and in so many ways better because there has been so much science and so much heart, not just one of either, but very much so, a lot of deep research, deep thinking, consumer insights, and whole heart to build the best for our pets. And I think that we're just so excited to take HUFT to every neighborhood in the country, every city, and then beyond to the whole world. That cause is very, very close to my heart. We want to use the HUFT Foundation to remind people that we are on a shared planet. It's not just ours. It belongs to so many other species. And how do we turn that animal-human conflict into more peaceful coexistence? That's really the core of what we're trying to do. And with this unique situation of India having such a massive population of street dogs, what we're trying to do is just help people understand these amazing creatures. And instead of it being termed as a menace, how do we convert that into, hey, you could have a friend at every corner, right? So just helping them overcome fear, helping them understand their body language. How do we bring people together to care for them? And actually, it's so amazing that they don't have anyone to call their own, but yet there is millions of people in the country who look after them, who feed them, who care for them, who vaccinate them. And then there is also a whole layer of conflict of the other side, right? Who's afraid or who have had difficult traumatic incidences, maybe a bite, etc. So we're just trying to bridge that gap where we're trying to just, impart that knowledge and share how we can together create a more peaceful world. I have grown up with animals always, and I don't think that any other relationship can bring the joy, the magic, the friendship, the love, the connection that an animal and human can share. And I really hope that I can take this to the whole world and let so many more millions of people experience this I've also found that when you share your home and life with an animal, and if you're open in that relationship, and you can learn from them, you become a better version of yourself. You become kinder, more compassionate, more empathetic. You just become better. And, through HUFT, if we can help more people become better versions of themselves and more people just experience this absolutely magical relationship, the world could just be a tiny little bit better. And so for us at HUFT, our vision is for every home to experience the joy of raising pets as family. And that's really what keeps me going. That is a funny story because I wanted a .com name and everything to do with dogs, cats, woofs, tails, purrs, meows, everything had been taken by the US and the UK and Europe because obviously those industries are so much further, right? So we just couldn't think of anything, and then somebody suggested heads and tails, heads up for tails. It just so happened. But yes, that's that. I had no idea that such a long name would impact SEO and all of those things because that didn't exist at that time, right? So now today, if I had to think of a name, it would be one word, very simple. but that's where the name came from.
Well, congratulations. You built a beautiful brand off the back of that name.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time, Rashi.
Thank you so much.